Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the recently released History of the Daleks set based on the 2022 New Year's Day story Eve of the Daleks, starring Jodie Whittaker as the 13th Doctor, available from B&M stores right now. Taking a look at the packaging, this is the usual style guide, this time in a pinkish hue for the 13th Doctor with the current diamond logo, the TARDIS in the corner, 2 diamonds stating the contents of the set and the scale, the usual gold limited edition sticker, the name of the set, and the story and the year. The sides of the box retain the usual information, and the top features the logo. On the back of the packaging there is a fantastic description of the story and a bit of behind the scenes information. And on the base of the box there is the usual product and company information. And out of the box you're probably having the same reaction as everyone else. These Daleks are notably a darker colour than the usual that we get, but I'll get onto that shortly. But moving on to the detail, these are just the usual standard Dalek bronze sculpts with all the rivets, the bolts and detailing on it, as well as the panelling. You can see that the dome lights have the silver painted on the edges, and the eye stalk is what we've come to expect with the silver stalk, the translucent rings and the black eye with the light blue pupil. One thing to note is that the identification tag between the two Daleks are different, and I think this is quite a nice thing to do. Character didn't have to do such a small thing, they could have just released 2 identical Daleks in the same set. And as you can see, the rest of the body maintains the same detail with the shoulder section and the hemispheres painted in a lighter gold. On these figures, they do include some new sculpts. The plunger has been swapped out for the claw arms that were first seen on the props from Revolution of the Daleks. The silver rod does have a dark wash over the top, and the claw itself is sculpted in an open position and painted black. And as for the usual exterminator gun, in this story, the Daleks had a Gatling gun, which they used to repeatedly exterminate the lead cast, and as you can see, the sculpt has been represented perfectly, and again, it has a black wash over the top, and like I've already said, the bronze is a lot darker than previous Daleks we have received. This is accurate, but only for the next outing. The props for Power of the Doctor were repainted in a darker bronze, as we can see from behind the scenes photos. However, in Eve of the Daleks, the props used the bronze that was prominent during the Moffat era. However, I quite like this darker bronze. My issue is with the gold on the shoulder slats and the hemispheres. I think they're way too light, and I think that is what makes these figures look a bit odd. Maybe with a wash or a darker gold painted over the top, they'd look a lot better. But if you are that bothered with the colour scheme, you can just swap it out with one of the bronze Daleks we've had before. Moving on to the articulation, the head can swivel a full 360 degrees. The eye stalk can move up and down. The claw arm and the Gatling gun can move on a ball joint as well. And like every other Dalek, there are 3 wheels on the base, allowing for the standard usual rolling. That's it for this set. Overall, 2 nice variants, a few issues, but it is nice to add 2 new figures to the 13th Doctor shelf. I'm still holding out hope for a Defence Drone Dalek, but it is nice to have these Daleks, especially with the 2 new sculpts being the claw arm and the Gatling gun. And that's it for me in this first B&M drop. I don't plan on picking up the TARDIS because I'm happy with my 3D printed exteriors. But in the meantime, feel free to follow my Instagram account for updates. And thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I shall see you all soon.